Welcome back everybody to Forza Motorsport, and today we're taking a look at the 1998 Mitsubishi FTO GP version R. Now this car was produced between 1994 and 2000, with this being part of the facelift models that were made between 1997 and 2000. So yeah, this version R is one of the rarer versions of the vehicle itself, as only 542 of these were made, and only 322 of those had the 5-speed manual that we have in this. So yeah, quite a rare car, although obviously the automatics are even rarer than this, but you would want the manual as it is a faster vehicle. This also has uprated suspension with thicker front and rear anti-roll bars. It's got a limited slip diff and a redesigned rear spoiler to provide extra downforce. And because this is a version R, this has some elements that have been deleted from the vehicle, such as rear side skirts, front fog lights, climate control, electric folding mirrors and sound insulation, which is why this, instead of weighing 2,668 pounds, now weighs 2,535 pounds. So quite a drastic weight reduction there for a car that is ultimately still a road car. It's not, made for going around the track or anything like that, although it is still a perfectly usable track car. So yeah, it's got a decent sized boot as well for a car of this size, and it's got a really nice interior. I love the red seats that it's got going on. I don't know why the game is playing up in terms of showing me these things. It's not letting me get in. But yeah, you can see the nice red seats. You've got the nice pedal box there as well. You've got good steering wheel. No idea why the car is not letting me get in, but regardless, the best thing though about this car is the engine, as it has, as you can see, a 2-litre V6 engine producing 197 horsepower and 147 pounds-feet of torque, which is fairly decent for a car that, like I said, only weighs 2,535 pounds, which is pretty lightweight. And yeah, I do like the look of it as well. But unfortunately, like a lot of Japanese cars from the late 90s and early 2000s, think to the Toyota Celica or the Honda Del Sol, I think it's called. It looks like a rear-wheel drive car, having the coupe body and whatnot, but unfortunately it is only front-wheel drive. Now granted, it doesn't have a huge amount of power going through those front wheels, so handling-wise it is actually fairly good, especially with that limited slip diff and the reduction in weight. But there's no doubt that this would be a far more fun car to drive if it was rear-wheel drive over front-wheel drive. So yeah, looks-wise it says a lot in terms of it being sporty, but doesn't have quite the sportiness due to that front-wheel drive drivetrain. But still, it's by no means a bad thing when you consider that it's got all of the elements going for it to make it handle as well as it can. And yeah, at the end of the day, that engine is absolutely superb. 7,500 RPM rev line, which is the joint highest for this engine from this model of car. The inline 4s I think only went up to 7,000, so yeah, this is definitely the engine to go for. But nonetheless, let's get out onto a track and see what this car can do. Right, so we're on Laguna Seca. We're on the short circuit version, but that's not by no means been chosen because of the car. It's purely because it is a pretty fun version of Laguna Seca. So yeah, let's see what this car sounds like, and then we'll talk about it some more. So yeah, it's a pretty nice sounding engine. Not sure why the rev line on the game though is higher than what I've read, but it's only by about 500 RPM, so I'm not going to question it too much. But yeah, still a really nice sounding engine. quite unique in terms of its engine, its cubic capacity for a V6. Certainly didn't have as many such small engines from other manufacturers, although Toyota with the Supra from the early 90s did have a 2-litre inline 6, so yeah, but that was turbocharged, whereas this is all naturally aspirated, and yeah, therefore, you know, has the engine not being compromised by turbocharging, which is why it sounds as good as it does. And acceleration wise, it's pretty damn good as well. 0 to 60 in 6.9 seconds, 0 to 100 in 17.8 seconds, and it will go to a top speed of at least 155 miles an hour, which is again pretty damn sharpish. Handling wise, well, yeah, it's not going to be the best given it is front wheel drive, and we all know that front wheel drive isn't the best, you know, drivetrain out there. It doesn't offer the best balance, for instance. It means that the car is usually way heavily loaded up front over the rest of the car, but because it doesn't weigh all that much anyway, and the engine isn't particularly heavy, because even though it is a V6, it's only a 2-litre at the end of the day, so those cylinders are not going to be that large or anything like that. It's yeah, handles better than you might expect, certainly better than several hot hatchbacks, for instance, from the same kind of period as this, although I'm not showing that off with my awful driving, but still, yeah, it's a good car. It's one I really, really like, and I'm glad it's returned to a Forza game. Don't think this has been on a Forza game for a while. Can't remember the last time it was, but I know it's been on something Forza related before. But yeah, I'm glad it's back on a game regardless. If it is returned, and if it is a new car to this Forza series, then I'm glad it's on the game regardless, because yeah, it's a really, really nice sports car. It's not the sportiest of sports cars, obviously, with its front wheel drive layout, but as far as front wheel drive cars go from the 90s, it's easily one of my favourites, especially due to the way it looks and the way it sounds, which at the end of the day are two of the crucial criteria for a sports car of this type. But yeah, nonetheless, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this car, I'd like to hear your thoughts on it. But nonetheless, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.